This is the only Sherlock Holmes Lego set we've ever gotten, and it has iconic minifigures we've never seen before, and all in a new format. It's incredible. I haven't tried the Hogwarts book Nook, but this set makes me want to try it. I'm very excited to share it with you. First, we're going to get into my rating for this, my review, some final thoughts, and you'll be on your way to the next video. Let's get into it. I do my ratings on a number of metrics to help you figure out if this set is right for you. It's hard for holding it because I'm like, I think technically this looks better, but like, it's a lot harder to hold that way. I'm gonna just leave it latched. Yeah. Skill 7 out of 10. Usually I would rate like the majority of this build a 5 out of 10, but there are a few spots, and I mean a few spots with really, really weird build techniques. There's not a lot of weird build techniques in here, but the spots where they are, they're really weird. That would give it a 6 out of 10 for the extra point for that, but then I added an extra point because this is 1,300 pieces. It's huge. I feel like that adds a little bit of difficulty when you're just going for that long. Personally, I do not feel like the set is super beginner friendly, and I would recommend doing a few sets before you do this. If this is in your first few sets, do a bag, take a break. Do a bag, take a break, because otherwise you will be overwhelmed by this. Aesthetics, 9 out of 10. I wanted to start this section off talking about the thing that you do first, the cobblestone roads. The cobblestone on this looks incredible. When I was building it, it was a lot of fun just because it looks so good. I enjoyed that so much. I've been to London, and while like it's not all cobblestone roads, by a long shot. I haven't seen all of London, obviously, because I don't live there. But from what I saw, it wasn't all cobblestone roads, but I did see cobblestone roads. And it looks so accurate to it. Like, you look at this right away and know it's cobblestone. I also adore how great the set looks unfolded and folded. I think from here, it looks fantastic. And from here, that feels so scary this way. It looks so good. When the set is folded, it kind of uses this forced perspective display that causes it to feel like there's more depth to this, which is incredible. Let me set this down. To explain forced perspective, it's kind of the concept of having a focal point. And when you start looking at things, you'll see it. A focal point off in the distance where converging lines disappear into, and then also scaling things up or down depending on how close you want it to look to the front. So for example, if I held my fingers, technically, if you were looking at my fingers or measured it across the screen, this is a lot more pixels than this one is, but you know this one's closer because it's bigger, or in the reverse, you know this one's smaller because it's further away. And this set does such a good job of using that when it's closed, but then when it's open, it doesn't look weird at all. It's incredible. I love it. The converging lines in here, amazing. Close, it has this effect, but then when you have it open, these buildings also look like they have a ton of depth, which is crazy because like this is a very, very thin set. Do you see what I'm saying? Incredible. The only reason why this isn't a 10 out of 10, it has stickers. There's not a lot. There is some stickers, and I found that quite annoying. In my opinion, when sets get over $100, there shouldn't be stickers. Now this right here where it says Baker Street is a custom printed piece, but the rest of the signage, stickers. Oh yeah, the newspapers are printed pieces as well, but like this door, this sign with the address 221B, 222 sticker, the bookshop sticker, and then this E sticker. And it was just kind of like, why? Durability, 6 out of 10. It's great for handling the way it's intended, opening, closing, stuff like that, but I do feel like if it was knocked off of a shelf, this thing's gonna shatter kind of bad. I know that sounds stupid because I've never tested it, but I would never leave my cats around this or leave this in a spot my cats could get to it. I actually purposely built this the day before I built my Lego shelf, so I only had to keep them away from the set like overnight, which was just closing off this room the one night and then being able to put it high up on a shelf away from them. The outside is solid though, and again, for like opening and closing it, totally fine, but I have a funny feeling if it like tumbled, this wouldn't be good. Value, 7 out of 10. I do this metric solely based on the price per brick. So even if I understand why the price per brick is the way it is, it's gotta stay true to the metric. By the way, I call them bricks and pieces interchangeably. I don't know why I do that. I'm sorry. Now, I said I could understand why a price per brick could be bad, and that's really because of two factors. One is licensed IP. Now, funny thing, Sherlock Holmes actually entered the public domain in 2023, so there shouldn't be any licensing costs associated with this set. There are a lot of pieces within here, so I might have missed it, but I saw pretty much no custom pieces besides these two printed pieces, but because they're just two and they're small, I'd imagine that was pretty easy of a cost for Lego. So there's not really any odd pieces or crazy custom printed pieces here. Oh yeah, and the newspapers in here. But that's really not a lot for a Lego set, and really there's no custom bricks for here as far as I could tell, so that really shouldn't be a factor. Normally a set will range anywhere from 6 to 12 cents. This one costs $129.99 and has 1,359 pieces, giving it a 9-cent price per brick. Honestly, I'm very happy with it. It's pretty on par with other Lego icon sets. Times 6 out of 10. I do this metric only based off of the amount of pieces I'm placing per hour relative to my average. Now, normally I average 350 to 425 pieces per hour. This took me 3 hours and 27 minutes. And there's 1,359 pieces, meaning I averaged about 390 pieces per hour, so it's within my range, but it's not like particularly great. Joy at 9 out of 10. This is extremely fun. There might be some sets that I might have enjoyed just slightly more, like the Happy Plants, but still, I had a blast building this. It is so much fun. There's so many fun things you're doing as you can see it coming together. I love building the detective here on the outside. Really, you could see it coming together, the cobblestone, everything. It's aesthetically so beautiful. It really helps you have a lot of joy building it. Also, there's a ton of Easter eggs in here, and that makes it so much fun. We'll talk about those in a second. Overall, A tier. I put it in A tier because if you aren't super into books or reading or the Sherlock series, this might not have the best appeal to you. And then also, if you do not have a bookshelf type space to store this, it's not gonna look as good. But also it's there because of the durability, value, and time score. However, I didn't put it in B or below because I still think this has massive appeal. There's an incredible amount of detail and care that went into the building of the set. Again, the forced perspective is just like chef's kiss. And the Easter eggs. Okay, let's talk about it. This set is 10 bags, and I guess if you wanted to say it has sections, you kind of could. Bags 1 and 2 are the downstairs bookstore. Bags 3 and 4 are the small flat above the bookstore, and the mechanisms for, I'll explain it later. Bags 5 and 6 are the downstairs as Sherlock and Watson's apartment. Bags 7 and 8 are the upstairs. Bag 9 and 10 is the book cover. I thought the cover having more of a base plate style would really bother me, but it actually doesn't. I'm not sure if it's just because at that point in the build, I was a tad tired and my fingers hurt, and that's why my opinion changed, but it definitely could be a factor. This set also includes some really fun minifigures. Obviously, it includes Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, but there's also Paige, Irene Alder, and Professor Morty. In the beginning of the instruction booklet, they actually highlight all the minifigures and special features of this set in a page that looks like a detective's corkboard. I'm actually not going to show you because it's really cool and I don't want to spoil it. If you get this or if you've done this, I'd highly recommend looking at the booklet for this page. I'm just like you, and I definitely skip right to the build part because I just want to start building, but this is one I wouldn't do that. I really wasn't expecting for there to be minifigures in this one, even though it was on the box. I know attention to details would have helped me here. I'm not going to give you too many details on Sherlock Holmes. We all know his story, genius detective with the knack for finding unique clues and drawing conclusion that us normies wouldn't. We get him in bag 7. I do think people know a lot less about Dr. Watson. Dr. Watson is a military vet who finds his way to being Sherlock's sidekick when he was looking for a roommate due to financial hardship. He was wounded in the war and essentially was given disability pay, but it wasn't a lot. We get Dr. Watson in bag 1 with the dog Treat in his briefcase. My dog's in the room and she doesn't know how to spell. Sorry about that. Paige is a local kid who Sherlock Holmes pays for intelligence. It sounds weird, but when you think about it, I think it makes sense. Kids are constantly learning from their environments and honestly don't have much else to do on their plates except for watch people. I believe we see Paige in the first book, but I could be wrong. I totally understand why these books are iconic, but that first one is a bit rough to get through. There are a ton of descriptors used in each sentence to the point where my Gen Z short attention span kind of loses track of the point of the sentence like halfway through. So even though I read it, I'm a bit hazy on it. Irene Alder appears in the Sherlock Holmes series in a book I haven't read yet, which is A Scandal in Bohemia. The Sherlock book series is kind of insane to try to read it all. While I would have done it, there are 4 novels and 56 short stories, so it would have been really difficult. Anywho, I had to look up information about her, but according to the internet and the booklet, she's a former opera singer who earns his respect with her wit. In the short story, he's hired to get a photograph from her. She ends up being able to outwit him and flee, leaving behind a letter for him to find. Finally, Professor Morty is described to Sherlock Holmes as the Napoleon of crime, Watson. He's the organizer of half that is evil and nearly all that is undetected in this great city. I got that quote from the booklet. He's in the story The Final Problem, which I also didn't have time to read. He's a very iconic villain, even though I believe he's just in a final problem. Let me know if I'm wrong on that though. There's another reference to that story in the set. I really debated sharing all the references because they were really fun to come across as you're building, and ultimately I decided not to share all of them so you can enjoy it while you build. I will say there are 6 confirmed Easter eggs within here and 1 unconfirmed Easter eggs. It's on the newspaper. Look at it and let me know if you agree with me. Anywho, I did want to show you the hidden feature. I'm not going to actually demo to you how to use it or explain it. You twist a knob one way and you twist it the other way to get it to do the reverse. It's like super easy. Okay, so look at when I twist the knob. Uh-oh, who's that? Okay, and then like twist it the other way to get the door to come down. I feel like you don't need me to explain like how knobs work. Remember earlier when I said there were some really weird technical bits that factored into my 7 out of 10 skill score? This is definitely part of that. Anywho, I think this set really makes me want to have the Hogwarts one because honestly, it's so good, but I don't think the Hogwarts one could top this, but like who am I to say I haven't built it? I was initially going to get the Lord of the Rings one, but I saw it in person and I thought it was kind of mid. So if you built that one and you liked it, definitely let me know because it's kind of hard for me to think that anything would top this one. Anyways, my final thoughts on this. This is incredible. I hope we get more like this. I actually talked about it in my video coming out on Tuesday because we were going through some Lego idea sets that are in review and there's another book nook. So I hope we get more of these. If we do, here are some books that I think would make very good book nooks. Twilight. I'm sorry, they've already done a licensing deal with them. I think they should do it again. There's so many ideas that you could do for that. There's so many different places. There's so many ideas. The Hunger Games. Oh my gosh, imagine it's like the arena or the Capitol. Oh my gosh, or District 12. Oh, there's so many good things that could work for that. And then also pretty much any Stephen King novel. Like, that'd be incredible. If you have any ideas for that, definitely let me know down in the comments. Maybe let's start sending them, like tagging them on like X or Blue Sky or Instagram or whatever and trying to get these ideas going because I want more sets like this. This was so much fun. Anywho, I just want to say thank you so much for choosing to watch my videos. Out of all the videos on YouTube, I hit 5,300 subscribers today, which is like absolutely insane to me. I have gained like 4,000 subscribers since the beginning of this year, and I cannot believe that 4,000 of you wanted to join me on this like journey that we got going here. It means the world to me that you guys like my content and like what I do. I think it's so cool. Like, you guys love to watch me build Legos and I love to share it with you. So thank you so much for that. Comment down below. Let me know what sets you want to see me do next. Actually, let me know which sets you're planning on getting on August 1st. I do have a full release video coming out on all the sets they're going to be releasing a few days before, so you can like finalize your buying guides. And with that said, I will see you guys next time. Bye!